Yes, we are live.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Conversations with Sam Pitroda. So, today we are going to talk about technology revolution. Sir will speak about technology missions,
Yeah.
and he's the best person to talk about this because he's the founder of Telecom Revolution in India. Who better to speak than Sam, sir? And as you already know, like we had recent the NASA spacecraft touchdown just few days ago. So so technology is taking us is connecting the world, is making a world a smaller place, and we need to address this issue more and more. And the more nations develop technology, the more uh, it's a revolution for the humanity as well. So I'll request Sam sir to take on and address our audience. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyambada. Thanks, everybody. Like Priyambada said, technology has really transformed human civilization, especially in the last 50 years. After the invention of transistor, the communication, computer, education, health, governance, everything got affected. Internet really connected all of us in a way no one had ever thought. And now, with AI and all of that, there are a lot of possibilities, and at the same time, there are a lot of concerns. What does it mean to human civilization? Now that we are all connected, all 8 billion people are connected, how do we use this connectivity to take human civilization to the next level? I want to talk today more about technology missions that we had in India, which not many young people know about. So recently, just I believe last week, I got an email from a French person. I sent that to Pendra, and this person said, I did my PhD thesis in France on India's technology missions. And I was intrigued. And he said, I've been looking for you for 30 years. Finally, I got connected to you. Will you call me? So I called him. I spoke to him. And I felt that it is important for me to talk to young people who really don't know anything about technology mission as to what was the background. How did it happen? What is technology mission? Why technology mission? This fellow did his PhD thesis because he was intrigued. I know that United Nations did a study on India's technology mission in 88 or 89 and recommended that every country should have a technology mission. I just finished talking to Himachal Pradesh chief minister and about 200-300 people, and I mentioned to them that look, if you want to get anything done systematically in a bureaucratic framework, you need to focus on creating missions to get things done. So in Rajiv Gandhi's time, we created several missions. The idea behind mission is to have a very clear objective, missionary people to manage it, and provide organizational architecture with transparency, accountability, measurable, deliverable milestones to really get things done. Because the real challenge in India is not ideas. The real challenge is who's going to get it done. Everybody has advice for somebody else. My question to them normally is, what are you going to get done? Don't tell me what I should do. Just focus on what is that you should do. And that's where mission approach comes in handy. So on one hand, you create focused management attention with deliverable, tangible, measurable milestones, with funding, management team, and very clear idea of what the task is. Bureaucracy can still do their thing, but you separate this piece out of bureaucracy with the government people, civil society, voluntary agencies, domain experts, universities, press, all of them working together on one fundamental idea. And that is the purpose of that technology mission. For example, we had 6 missions. First one was on drinking water. We wanted to provide rural India with drinking water to 100,000 villages. It was a mission. And the first question was, how do you measure that you have provided drinking water? So I remember going to the first meeting with all the water experts. And I said, do you know how much water cat drinks per day? How much water donkey drinks, cow drinks, camel drinks, dog drinks? And they were all puzzled. They said, "Oh, what are you asking?" I said, if you don't know that, you can't plan requirement for the people. Then we need to know how much we use for cooking, washing, drinking. Then we need to know what is the real problem in water. So in India, we found that we had something called guinea worm. So when women go to fetch water through their open feet, some kind of viral infection starts, which ultimately results in a spaghetti kind of a live entity, which could come from your face, from your finger, from your hand, feet. And normally what you do is you take this pencil and roll that spaghetti and get it out. 39,000 villages in India had guinea worm. So our mission said, not only we will provide drinking water to 100,000 villages, we will eliminate guinea worm from India in 39,000 villages. We will remove excess iron because many part of the country had excess iron, excess fluoride. We'll provide water testing labs, one in every district. So we really came up with specific things that you can measure. Have you eliminated guinea worm? Then you've done your job. Have you created all the testing laboratories? Then you've done your job. How many plants for excess iron removal? How many plants for excess fluoride? How about training on water? No one had thought through like this. And based on that conversation we had for a couple of weeks, we decided to create a document on water mission. Then we had a mission on immunization. And let me tell you, we were surprised to learn that India does not make any vaccines or did not make any vaccine in 1980s. We were the largest market for polio, but we didn't make polio vaccine. So we had a meeting with all the experts on immunization. And there was a debate going on in India about the oral vaccine versus the injected vaccine. And people were confused. So we spent 3 days with about 70 vaccine experts, including Dr. Jacob Jones, who is a very famous, now must be in his 90s perhaps, advisor to Bill Gates Foundation on immunization and all. Great person. And through all of these domain experts, we felt that we should make vaccine in India. Everyone said in 1985 that this is crazy. You cannot make vaccine in India. We don't have technology. So I was talking to Rajiv one day, and Rajiv said, Sam, how much it would cost to make vaccine? I said 300 crore. In those days, it was like $300 million. It was 10 rupees to a dollar. So he said, let's do it. If we are the largest market, we should be the largest manufacturer. This was about 35, 40 years ago. Today, we are the largest producer of vaccine in India, in the world. Sorry. India is the largest producer of vaccine in the world. We have eradicated polio completely, but it took 35 years. It happened because of technology mission on immunization. People don't know these things. Nobody talks about it because we were not there looking for publicity then. It was not important to teach and all that in those days. It didn't exist. Then we had a mission on literacy. Literacy rate at that time was about 35%. Now it is almost 85%, which is, pretty close to what we would want. Okay. In literacy, people said, where is technology? So we figured out that we were making blackboards using wood all over the country, millions of blackboards with wood. So we went to IPCL and said, can you make a plastic blackboard so we don't cut enough wood? We want chalk that is dust proof so it doesn't squeak. We want solar lanterns so people in villages can study at night. And we created 2 million volunteers on literacy. Ordinary people living in villages. I remember one lady in Rajasthan, she had passed matric, that is high school, and she was the only lady in that village who had any school education. Her mother-in-law will not allow her to go out. And in literacy mission, she found a mission to teach children of the village how to read, write, and math and all. Today, literacy rate is almost what we expected, but it took a long time. Then we had a mission on oil seeds. We were importing $1 billion worth of edible oil in those days. And there was no reason for us. So we then started introducing mustard oil, soybean, sunflower. And we got to a point we stopped importing oil at one point in time. And in there, we got help from NDDB, that is Dairy Development Board, Dr. Kurian. So the next mission was milk production. Dr. Kurian and I worked together very closely because he was the mission director for the milk production. And we said, we are going to be the largest producer of milk in the world. And we are today largest producer of milk. Again, no one remembers all this. No one talks about it. And then even Prime Minister of India would go and say, oh, nothing got done in 70 years. How ignorant you could be. In dairy, we got so many things done. Okay. Kurian was an institution. A great man. He mobilized all the cooperatives, and his model was very different. He was not creating multimillionaires in the process. He was really distributing wealth equitably to large number of people through cooperatives. Then there was a mission on telecom. As you know, at that point in time, we had 2 million phones. We didn't produce even a telephone instrument in India. So we started manufacturing locally, telephone instrument, PABX, telephone switches, transmission gear. Today we have 1.5 billion phones. Unfortunately, we don't produce too much hardware. And at the same time, we build software industry then. So today we have $200 billion a year software business. All of these things were done as part of technology mission. We were also trying to design 3 other missions. One was on environment. We spent a year or so, but we couldn't convince everybody to do a mission on environment. Mr. Seshan, T.N. Seshan, was the Secretary of Environment then. Then we wanted to create a mission on housing, and we wanted to create a mission on flood and drought. So our idea was to create about 10 missions. We created 6. Other 3 just didn't get implemented. Unfortunately, Rajiv Gandhi got killed, lost election, and after that, missions died. Because for mission, you need missionaries. And when Rajiv Gandhi died, new government, like everywhere else, decided that this program will not be followed because it was Rajiv Gandhi's program. And we lost that initiative. So when I was talking to Himachal today, I said, look, what Himachal needs is 10 missions. If you don't create missions, you will not have focus, will not have dedicated resources, dedicated budget, while everything is going on as it is. So missions first require missionary zeal, then require political will, clarity of the purpose, dedicated resources, public-private partnership, decentralization, so the mission can be also implemented at state level. So you cannot have a water mission at a center in Delhi, but we had to have a water mission in every state. We had to have literacy mission in every state because every state has different language. So decentralization became a very important part of technology mission. Some people say, what is technology in it? I think technology was an entry point to bring about generational change. Technology was not everything, but through technology you could enter that cycle and begin to dismantle old mindset. Once I remember we were in a small village looking at immunization. And it turns out that when they register children for immunization, they want father's name. In that village, women will not give their husband's name. And the government will not recognize mother as a guardian. Can you believe that? We had to fight like hell with the system, saying, hey, if mother comes to get immunization, she should be recognized. So we had to make a column on mother. Then we found out that there are almost 300 to 400 forms on immunization in the country to be filled. So we had one young guy called Dr. Kumar, PhD. So I called Dr. Kumar once and I said, Kumar, take all these 300 forms and come back with 10 forms for me. I want to consolidate all these forms. And poor guy worked for a month and came back and he said, sir, I'm so sorry. I said, what happened? He said, I can't do 10, but I can do 12. I said, great. To come from 300 to 12 is phenomenal. So we had to reprocess, re-engineer forms and data and all that. In the process with Korean, I got involved on land records. So we worked very hard in creating land records all over. I mean, remember, this is about 35 years ago. Okay, we had done so many interesting things on technology. So technology continues to play an important role. But unless and until there is mission, technology remains as a tool to benefit rich. Our idea of technology was to take it to people, to make sure that there is inclusion, sustainability, addressing of income inequality. I mean, these were new ideas 35 years ago. Nobody had heard of sustainability. Nobody talked about inclusion in those days. Okay. So if you get chance, Google a little bit about technology missions in India. And when UN did a study, UN recommended that all countries should introduce technology missions of their own in whatever areas they want. Okay. The idea behind technology mission was to really give focus and help in implementation. Because what is happening today is we have great ideas, but we can't execute. They get buried in bureaucratic details. We spend a lot of money doing a lot of paperwork and processes and procedures. And at the end, there is very little to show in terms of results. This is the challenge in India. Western countries are very good at implementation. Of a simple idea, they'll just multiply it. Our whole thesis is based on decentralization to some extent, but also it brings some chaos. So you got to draw a balance. Because at the end of the day, you got to implement. So I'm proud to say to you that we did implement water mission, literacy mission, immunization, edible oil, milk production, and telecom and IT. But we didn't talk enough about it in the past. Because in the past, there was no need for publicity. Our work spoke on its own. Today, publicity is everything. You do one little thing and you just tweet all over, and then everybody gets excited and everybody else tweets and looks like, oh, you've done something wonderful. So technology missions are an important part of getting things done. Every country, every state, and according to me, every district should have their own technology missions, whatever those are, because every district is different. Every state is different. And their needs are different. But the key is to really bring in outside talent beside government officers through domain experts, board members, advisors, people from different state, people from different country. We used to invite people from all over the world to come and talk to us on immunization and all that. And in the process, we learned. In the process, we expedited development. And we could really create a team of dedicated people who believed in mission and who wanted to get it done. I still meet people who worked on the mission 40 years ago on and off. And whenever we meet, we all get excited about what we did. So when this gentleman from France wrote to me, I called him afterward. He was going to join today, but he had to go somewhere. And he said, look, no one in India appreciated. I mean, I shouldn't say no one, but average guy did not appreciate what we accomplished in technology missions. So I thought it'd be good to talk about it because right now we are at a tipping point in technology. Technology of alternate energy, materials, and automation and AI is changing everything. Drones are changing our defense. You don't need machine, guns and uh, big vans that we had. Drones are the answer. If you have 10 million drones stored someplace who can just go and attack somebody, uh, that's a better deterrent. Okay. Similarly, the impact of AI on health and education, on governance, big data analytics, um, hyperconnectivity, genetics, biotech, nanotech is changing everything. The other day I was reading about this man, can't remember his name, Bruce or Byron or something, who is really experimenting with reversing aging. Somebody had mentioned to me, I had read before, but then again, a couple of days ago, I saw another article in Economist. And these are the possibilities that we had never thought of before. Some people believe that average lifespan is going to be 150. So these things really will redefine our work, our life, our social interactions. World population very soon will be 10 billion. And then it will begin to go down. How fast it will go down, we don't know. But I can see a day where world population would be maybe 5 billion. And then when you see all these assets built in the world, where everything is all built basically, roads, power plants and all, you just need to upgrade and maintain. And population is less. Today's kids, many, inherit large amount of money. In America, I'm told this year $6 trillion would be inherited. $6 trillion would be inherited by American kids because their parents work very hard or their grandparents work very hard. So what is the impact of this inheritance on their work ethics, work norms, work habits, their lifestyle? These kind of questions never existed before. So we are going through a major transformation world over. And technology is playing an important role in transformation. Your world as young people is going to be very different from the world that I experience. Though I had the ringside seat in technology revolution in US and India. But the kind of things that will happen now, mainly in health, is essentially mind-boggling. So with this, I can open up for a question-answer discussion. And we can always talk more about technology, leadership, entrepreneurship. These are very interesting topics for young people. So we'll mix and match. Okay. I thought I'd talk a little bit about technology today, mainly because the guy from France took me to memory lane. And I had totally forgotten to talk about technology missions. So thank you. Thanks, Upendra. And thanks, Premvada.
Uh, Thank you, sir. Just to continue with where you left, you said we have like the AI is now taking over with drone technology as well. So how do you think, is there a renewed technology mission required, like approach required to handle today's challenges about, AI regulation or climate change?
I think so. If I was there today, I would have a mission, technology mission on AI in India. And it is not about just copying what Western world is doing. It is about what does India need for AI, how India is going to be affected by AI. How do we create data base in all our local languages? Okay. I don't know whether I mentioned this earlier, but Hindi is the third largest language in the world. And on internet, Hindi represents 0.1% of the information. Okay. Now, if you don't build Hindi database, all Hindi novels, all old Manohar Kahaniyas and poetries and all kinds of stuff, then AI is of no use to Hindi. AI is okay for some engineering stuff and some scientific stuff. But if you really want to use AI for local benefit, you got to create your database, whether it is in Tamil or Hindi or Gujarati or whatever. I have a friend. Maybe we'll invite him to come one day. Carl Malamud. Carl and I have been friends for many years. And Carl now spends a lot of time in India in trying to digitize Indian literature. So he has probably digitized maybe 100,000 books. But there are 20 million books in India. Who's going to digitize it? You know, in Gujarati, there are several million books, of which 50,000 have been digitized. Okay. So what are we talking about AI? We just look at what Western world is doing, say AI, AI, AI.
Hmm.
Okay. But if you don't have local database, it doesn't help. What are you searching? You know. So
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, another question would be, we saw several revolutions in the past in India, like the Green Revolution, Telecom Revolution, or even the Milk Revolution. Why are we not seeing any, a major revolution? Like currently, we still have water crisis. We still have farmers doing, like, committing suicide, unfortunately. So why? What are we lacking? Why is this intent of the government that is required, as you said earlier, that leadership matters?
no, we are not building institutions anymore. Okay, we are not building. Look at CSIR, IITs, IIM, AIMS, space research, atomic energy. Okay, you look at all the institutions we build in our time. Okay, and what institutions are we building today? Is there any one institution that you can name today? We had CDOT, we had CDAC, and we had all kinds of stuff, material research. Okay, we started nanotechnology groups. Okay, look at all the universities we started, new ones. But today there is very little institution building. Yeah.
So yes, sir, that's the reason. And also the government of today is busy with communal politics. That's their forte. So
They're not focused on institution building, people building. You know.
that's true. There is question from Basavraj Sankin.
Yeah.
uh, so can we just have it on the screen? Yeah, thank you. uh, so he's saying, do you think India's telecom, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he's asking, do you think India's telecommunication sector could experience significant growth with adoption of satellite-based internet
I
service?
think I think Indian telecom sector has grown substantially. Okay. Whether you add another 20 million lines or 50 million lines is not a big deal. Of course, rural connectivity is important, and this Starlink would help a little bit in rural connectivity. The real challenge is how do we use this technology to change people's mindset, to change thinking. Okay. I mean, no one has said, hey, this is how to use technology for um, communal harmony. Okay. You will never hear that. Okay. That how do I use internet for communal harmony? That's not part of the equation.
So, but what about the potential like security implication if Starlink comes in India?
Oh,
What do you?
that's a whole totally complicated question. We can have a separate conversation on it. Starlink uh, is a big challenge in terms of gateways. You see, if you don't create enough gateways in the country, then all the data goes to other countries. We need to create gateways in the country so all the information remain with us. That to me is the biggest thing right now, and nobody's paying much attention to it. Okay, um, Starlink could have positive impact and could also have negative impact. You know,
Absolutely, sir. Another question is from Upendra is asking, what advice would you give to young innovators looking to contribute to technology missions?
I would say just focus on the problem solving. What problem are you trying to solve, and whose problem you are trying to solve? Are you trying to solve your problem so you can make more money, which is okay, or you are trying to solve the problem of the farmer, of women, of village, of institution, of young? You know, what are you trying to solve? Because technology is all about problem solving. Yeah, whether it is productivity, efficiency, cost reduction, new features, new functionality. You know, you really need to understand how technology is going to solve this particular problem. Yeah.
What would be your mission of like technology mission if you were in charge today? What would you did the telecom revolution? So what would be on your mind if
If I was in charge today, I would have a mission today, not just in India, but world over, to really improve character and value. How do we improve character of people? How do we produce better people? When I watch on TV all these gangsters who are taken to El Salvador, whether they are gangsters or not, I don't know. But the condition in which they were taken, it is disgrace to humanity. Okay? That healthy people like this, young people, are chained, shaved, and like animals are shifted from one country to the other. What did go wrong? Where did we go wrong? So I would like a global mission on how to bring values, ethics, morals, character back in the mainstream, okay, where people respect each other, people work together, accept diversity. You don't want people to be like you all the time. To me, this is a big, big challenge all over. And you see what is going on in the world. You know, maybe that's a larger problem. It can be solved, but nobody has addressed yet.
uh, thank you, sir. I hope you feel better soon. We'll just wrap up early today, just because uh,
No problem.
yeah. So as you
But if there are any
correctly,
more questions, let's just address one or two.
yeah, there are like comments on. I can read out.
Sure,
There's
read
a
out. I mean, we want
so
people
there's
to participate.
yes, sir. So there's comment from Nagender
Yeah.
Prabhakar. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, he's saying you did your best along with Rajiv Gandhi for this country. So he's applauding all your work and
Right.
efforts. And there's a comment from Nagender Madhav Ram. He's saying you have dedicated yourself to serving the nation with unwavering commitment, though many people remain unaware of your contributions. For instance, you halted the import of edible oil,
Yeah.
supported farmers in increasing oilseed production, and helped conserve foreign currency reserves. We truly appreciate the opportunity to engage with you.
This remind me of one case I must tell you. When I became chairman of the Telecom Commission, the first decision I made was to stop loan from World Bank. World Bank was giving us $300 million loan to buy something. So I canceled that loan. As soon as I canceled, it was headline in the paper in those days that chairman of Telecom Commission is cancelling World Bank loan. So I get a call from Prime Minister's office, Rajiv Gandhi's office. Gopi Arora called me and said, Sam, you can't do that. We are paying 0.5% to keep this loan alive. How can you reject $300 million in those days? I said, look, the loan is packaged in such a way that they want me to buy things I don't need, and they won't give me money to buy things I need. I want to buy microprocessors, so give me money for microprocessors. I don't want to buy finished product, old designs from somewhere else. So it became a big issue nationally. Finally, the president of World Bank came to India. His name was Conabel. He was a senator then, US, before he became president of World Bank. So Rajiv Gandhi, president of World Bank, and I had lunch together. And he said, Sam, why are you doing it? And Rajiv Gandhi was trying to convince me to accept the loan. I said, you stay out of it. Okay. And he was very kind. And I said, I need windows and they are giving me shoes. What would I do with it? You want to sell something from one of your big international companies, so you want me to buy, but I don't need it right now. But that's what they do. Okay, so there are lots of things like this we have done, which nobody knows.
So how do you, just adding to it, how do you think the leadership then, impacted the technology missions which we had in India?
Yeah.
Uh,
Good, good. Thank you. Okay,
so
guys, I got to go because my doctor
okay,
is
yeah,
here. Okay.
okay, yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So we meet next
Thank
next.
you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I
no
cannot.
worries. Thank you. Bye.